Now, this is how the device looks like. There's only one color throughout the world, maroon, and in this color. And these are things which people have to say about this device. It's easy to use, elegant, lovely color. Huh? Everybody likes this color. I use it every day. All right. There are many people who practically use it every day and have found that it's helping them so much and it's effective. People who have been going and seeking other medication, and when they start using this, they're saying that suddenly they find that their problems are reducing, and it's fantastic. It's super. It's a miracle. Actually, it's science, and that's how it's a miracle to them, to everybody. And it saved me. Many people would have gone for operations. I know of people who have were preparing for fistula for dialysis, and right now, they have reversed that. They didn't have to go for the dialysis at all. It has helped them come back, right? So, and last but not least, I tell you thank you for introducing this device to me, because otherwise I don't know what would have happened to me. So these are the things that people actually say to you regarding this device. It's well known in China, especially because many people are using it, and this device can be used on all persons, including infants without contraindication. Even young children, infants, you have with rashes, you have other problems, you can use this device, right? And people always ask, this device is coming from China, so is the quality as good? Can it be trusted? No, as I always say, I had the same problem initially. It's coming from China. Can it be trusted? But upon using it, I mean, using for months now, and there's no problem at all. And I practically use it every day, and sometimes for more than myself. And now, what we need to know is products from China. They are well known for inventions, and they've got different categories. If you want cheap stuff, then they give you cheap stuff. If you want average stuff, they give you average stuff. And you want good quality stuff, they give you good quality stuff at a price. And this device is jointly produced by the Chinese Academy of Sciences with a joint venture with a private entity, and they give you the best of quality. And I have used one or two others just to try it out, a comparison, where after a month or so, the switches don't work, the blower doesn't work, and the two parts come apart. Using this device from day one till today, I have not had any problem at all. So this is to explain about the device which is coming from China and its quality. Now, let's look at a little bit about terahertz energy. Now, it is on the electromagnetic spectrum where you have all the other waves, radio waves, microwaves, infrared, ultraviolet, X-rays. Now, as you know, microwaves could be dangerous, ultraviolet rays could be dangerous, and X-rays could be dangerous. There are also other rays like infrared, which is used in the medical industry. Now, in this area here, THZ, this is terahertz, there used to be a gap, all right? So the microwaves was overlapping, infrared was overlapping, and people used to call it sub-millimeter waves or far infrared. But now it has been, set aside. Terahertz, one of the energies, and it's quickly becoming very important, especially in scanners in airports, and then also in electroscopy, and then in imaging, and now it's helping people to recover as per health. All right, so it's doing wonderful things, and this is just the beginning. All right, now terahertz energy. There are waves of terahertz energy flow into and emitted by the human body. Okay, actually they are already around us. We have it around us, and it's especially strong in human babies, healthy young people, and animals. And during full moon, it releases a large amount of terahertz energy. So when you go for a walk, you feel very serene, very calm, very nice, energetic, largely because of this energy, and it's abundant in the universe, right? And then we also look at the frequency. It's at a frequency of 10 to the power of 12, which is about 1 terahertz on the electromagnetic spectrum. It corresponds to frequencies found in our bodies. Now, this is very important because our bodies, the cells especially, they need these frequencies to function optimally. We will see later. Now, it's also harmless but powerful, and it's also been called the radiation of life and the wave of life. People have actually used it before, but in different ways, and they found that it has been very helpful to them. Now, the frequency range is about 100 gigahertz, 10 terahertz. That's the range it works in. At the low frequency, the wavelengths are 3 millimeters to 30 micrometers. As I said, they're also known as far infrared or sub-millimeter waves before, but now specifically terahertz energy. It's non-ionizing. Non-ionizing meaning that it doesn't steal electrons from the atoms or molecules in our cells, so they don't cause a chain reaction, causing tissue damage. It also penetrates clothing, paper, cardboard, plastics. Easily they penetrate, so it helps us in various ways. It's absorbed by water. This is something which is also beautiful because we have found ways how to use it to our advantage. And it's also absorbed by many organic substances. I've never mentioned this before, but if you have oil in your house, the cooking oil, you can actually charge the cooking oil, and people have found that when you use this oil to fry whatever that you're frying, even fish, absorbs less oil and the taste is better. Okay, these are many housewives, ladies have tried this and they've informed this. And people ask, is terahertz radiation safe? It's safe because first it is non-ionizing, so it doesn't, excuse me, it doesn't steal electrons from atoms or molecules. And it's also considered to be safe for humans at low frequencies, and our device gives out low frequency terahertz energy. All the studies using low frequencies have found that they are safe for use. Now, terahertz waves are strongly absorbed by water molecules, which limits their penetration into tissues under normal conditions. So this is why under normal conditions, we did not get to experience what this radiation, this terahertz energy can do, right? Reason being, this is our skin. It is divided into 3 layers, epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. And what happens is, tend to absorb most of it here, not allowing it to penetrate even more. If you look at it a bit further, the ultraviolet rays come as far as the epidermis, far infrared as far as the dermis, and the terahertz goes a little bit more up to the hypodermis. And here you find the water molecules absorbing them because the strength of these terahertz waves are not very strong. Now, this is another look at it as to how thick the skin is. Now, when you look at them in total, the total thickness is about 3.1 to 6.3 millimeters. Now, the penetration of normal terahertz waves is about 0.1 to 0.3 millimeters under normal circumstances. And this is why we do not fully enjoy the advantage of these terahertz waves because they are stopped a long way before entering the body. Now, what happens is when you start using the ITeraCare device, the blower device, it goes way inside. The penetration is 20 to 30 centimeters, which is about a foot. So when this goes in deep, it suddenly starts affecting a lot of tissue a long way inside the body, and you find things happening. All right, and this is why it is such a beautiful device and why it is helping so many people. Okay, now let's look at why it happens. Now, basically, the basic problem, we look at the related mechanism. Now, people take all kinds of things, supplementation, they take a drink, they take all kinds of things. Now, at the very basis of it, it must be able to go into our cells because the cells are the ones which are actually performing the job. They're working optimally and to keep our body healthy. Now, that doesn't happen. Why? Because basically everything out there is, there's a lack of energy, and they're in cluster form, especially water, fluids. All right. So they run into problems of getting into the cells. Now, let's look at the clusters first. Now, the clusters, we're talking about the water clusters. The water clusters, the water is basically the molecule is H2O. They tend to cluster together. They bind together in 2, 3, 4, 5, and beyond. So when the clusters are quite big, they do not get to enter the cells. And when they do not get to enter the cells, what happens is the cells cannot perform properly. They're always dehydrated. Studies have shown that drinking the normal water, only about 30% actually enters the cell. All right. So just with 30% entering each time you drink, way not enough. All right. And then the second one is these two come together, they combine. So the energy, most of the drinks and the food which we're eating does not have the energy which it used to have. Now, most of the food which we're eating is cooked food. Most of the water doesn't have the energy by the time it reaches you. Although we are using super filters, yes, they do a good job in cleaning the water. They remove the sedimentation, they remove the chlorine, they remove the bacteria and the like. But they still do not have the energy that the cells want. So what we do, what happens is, now the water which is entering, only about 30% enters, and it doesn't have the energy. So what happens here is, when you start using this device, you're using this terahertz energy, first it breaks up these clusters. It becomes linear. So what happens is, now they find it so easy to enter the cells. And what we have found is about 90% and above start entering our cells. And together with those water which is going into the cells, a big amount of energy which is compatible, which is required by the cells, is entering the cells. And suddenly you find that the cells which were very dormant, which were unable to actually perform, starting to perform. And when they start performing, they start doing what they are designed to do. Our body is a natural healer. It always wants to heal, improve our condition. But if you do not give what it wants, it will never be able to do it. So as such, now you're giving it what it wants, and it's able to do what it wants, and the body starts healing itself. All right? That is the beauty of this. Now, it's also non-ionizing, where it doesn't steal the electrons and cause further damage. It's non-invasive, which means that you don't have to operate or cut you open to put something inside. There's no contact with your body at all, because you're blowing onto your body. It's localized. You use it where you have a problem. Okay, if you have a problem at the knee, you use it there. You have a problem with your head, you use it there. It's specialized in the sense that it is used for blowing, nothing more than that. All right. And another factor is the present health condition is also important, because it depends on how chronic you are. If you're very chronic, then it might take a little bit longer to become better. Also, a lot of things will start coming out in the initial stages. People get scared, right? Especially the lungs, right? The lungs is another area where you have to be careful. You have to make sure that you start slowly, because if you start too fast and you actually have a problem in your lungs, then the lungs start giving out fluid, and this fluid can actually, in a way, suffocate you if there's too much of it there. So know your condition, start slowly, slowly improve. All right, that's important. Now let's look at what happens in our body. If you take a drop of blood and look under the microscope, I'm pretty sure that most, if not all, will be having this condition. Now why? Because first, as I said, the cells are dehydrated. Only about 30% of the water actually gets in. Secondly, there's no energy in the cells. So this is how it becomes. And also, it tends to bind together. So when it does this, it's unable to carry the nutrition and the oxygen which it's supposed to carry, and remove waste which it's supposed to do. Now, you can see here one cell here which has a little bit of more water and energy. It has separated itself and is different from the rest. Now, what happens is, when you start blowing yourself, in those areas where you have a problem, and also you start drinking the charged water, this is what happens to you. The cells inside suddenly become dehydrated. You can see them round now, and then they are energized. You can see the thing there, and then they start separating from what they were, from the clusters. So when they start separating, now they start performing, doing what they are supposed to do. And this is actually one of the things, the main things why healing happens, right? Now your body takes over, it is able to do what it's supposed to do, and you start getting better, right? Now, it's also helpful. How it's helpful? It helps to reduce pain, including headaches and joint pain. Now, when you talk about headaches, why do you get headaches? Why do you get migraine? One of the important things are that the blood is not reaching there, besides other things. So, if you know how to get the blood there by using this device, your headaches, migraine almost immediately disappears. Just recently, I was talking to one of our partners, where in April, until April, she used to have very, very, very bad migraines. All right. So every time she'll be having migraines and it'll be lasting for days. And then you have lost her for a few days until she comes back. So now what happened was when this device came, she started using it, about to go out for some function. She thought, okay, I have a little bit of time, I'll start using it. And what happened was when she got onto the Grab, the cab, to go to the function, suddenly she realized that something was not right, or rather something was right. And she realized that the migraine was gone. And then upon thinking back, it was the device. When she used the device, the migraine went off, and subsequently until today, I was talking to her yesterday, the migraine is not there. All right? She has not had the migraine again. So these are some of the things which are happening to people, and it's so beautiful to hear that they are getting better from that. And also joint pain, all right? So also as an alternative treatment for a variety of diseases like dermatitis, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, gastrointestinal disorders, pain relief, and wound healing, all right? So when you talk about this, gastrointestinal disorders, I've had one person was having bad gastritis, and I've never met this person until today. But when we talked, I was just explaining about gastritis. He had very bad gastritis, and where it would be good to blow. And she was blowing for 1 month, and after 1 month, she called. She said, "You know what? My gastritis is gone. I don't feel it anymore. Thank you." And until today, I have not met her. I only talked over the phone. Right. Now, it also helps to improve the blood circulation, viscosity. Many people use different kinds of medication, what do you call it, aspirin, warfarin, to thin the blood, right? Most of them have a heart condition. Now, what happens is this charged water actually helps to reduce the viscosity of the blood by a very big margin, all right? And they find that things are now easier for them. It also helps to improve the lymphatic system performance. The lymphatic system is the system by which the body removes waste and toxins from the body. Now, if your lymphatic system doesn't perform, then you have a lot of unwanted waste cluttered in your body. Now, imagine if, let's say, it is your housing estate and the local municipality does not come and collect the rubbish for many, many days. You find that there's foul smell, a lot of things are coming for it, rats and insects around there, and then you get this putrid smell. So now basically this is what's going to happen in your body. So now with the improvement of the lymphatic system, what happens is all this waste starts going out, and your condition, your health suddenly becomes much better. It also helps to clear meridian and chakra points, right? It has also been found to reduce the toxic side effects of chemotherapy and radiotherapy in cancer patients. Chemotherapy patients find that now they don't lose as much hair, the vomiting and the energy. Normally when they come back, they're so tired and weak. Now they find that they can still continue with their day without feeling tired. It also helps in the modulation of the immune system. Now, if you see the COVID-19 presently, now the latest one, Omicron. So now what's basically happening is whatever the name of the virus, the first thing they do when they send you to the quarantine center is to improve your immune system. Now, why not you boost your immune system even before that happens? Now, using this water and also using this device, people find that the immune system is very high. And many people, including my friends and my children for that matter, they have come into close contact with those who are positive, and so far, touch wood, they have all been negative when they do their swab test and whatever test. And the only other thing which they do from other people is that they use the device and they drink the water. It really helps to boost the immune system. Trust me, it helps you, right? And in the stimulation of the nervous system, people who have got diabetes especially, all right, they always run foul of their nervous system, and they have this neuropathy. They run into all kinds of problems, especially with their legs, their feet, and their nerves start hardening, start constricting, and they have problems. And in spite of various kinds of treatments, they find that it's difficult to get rid of it. But what they are finding is that when they start using the device, our ITeraCare device, things are improving for them. Things are slowly turning for the better, improving, coming back to normal. Right? This is testimonials from those people who have actually used them. Right? So now let's look at some of the suggestions and recommendations of how to get the best results. Now, if you have a specific condition, focus on that area, one area, for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you have got 3 or 4 areas, don't try to minimize on the time by doing 2 minutes, 3 minutes here, 2 minutes, 3 minutes there. Because just when it's starting to get better, improve, you're already going on to somewhere else. So try to focus on those areas for a minimum of about 15 to 20 minutes for a daily treatment for 5 up to 15 days. And you do for about 5 to 15 days or 5 to 15 times, what happens is the effect on that area is better, the clearing is better, the improvement is better, and what you find is more permanent improvement. All right. So, and then it should not cause tissue heating if you just move in circles, vertical lines, horizontal lines. And we have only so far one person from throughout the world who has actually had some problems with some tissue heating because he was not informed by the person who sold the device that he has to move it around. So what he did was he has got this, he has a diabetic condition, and the leg didn't have feelings in that area, and he was just holding in that one particular area for a long time. All right, so that caused some issue for him, a little bit of heating. We shall see after this. Now, externally, you are blowing on areas where you have a problem. When you have a surface wound, a skin disease, and all. Otherwise, you can also focus on where there is pain, especially on the joints. Now, internally, you would want to focus on the, the organs. So when you are focusing on organs, either focus directly onto them from outside, or you look for this anatomic or acupuncture or reflexology points, right? And normally when upon blowing, Tera's energy is mainly absorbed through the human skin, which is made up by about 70 to 80% of water. So when it's absorbed, it starts doing its work, it starts moving, it starts going into the cells. And all the cells around where this happens, they start getting some improvement. So then you see the healing happening. Now, you also need to know something about hydration. So as we have said here, it's absorbed mainly through the human skin, which is made up of water. So keep your body and cells hydrated before commencing treatment for better results. So drink a glass or two of water before starting the treatment, and a glass or two after treatment to remove whatever waste is not wanted by the body. Right? Now there you could see some signs during the treatment. You could feel some pain, burning, or tingling sensation on those affected or problem areas. Now, as you move away to those areas which are healthier, you may not feel them. So you know roughly you can sense where the problem areas are. Now, traditional Chinese medicine suggests that where you feel pain, there is probably a blockage in that area, and vice versa. All right. Now, this is a condition I was telling earlier. So far, only one among the many thousands who have used this device, who had this problem where he did not have feelings there, and he just focused on one area, and he has a little bit of this, what do you call it, burnt, uh, issue. So actually, if you move it around, you wouldn't have got this problem. All right. Now, it's also user friendly. It's easy to operate. No professional skill or knowledge is needed. Just blow on affected area. It still works. If necessary to be more specific, especially relating to certain diseases or conditions, just follow some simple guidelines, which we'll show later. And I request, please do not drop it or shake it. Handle it with care. It'll really take care of you. And also don't allow water to enter it. Okay, now you have got something very, very valuable in your hands when you buy this device. It's definitely going to help you and your loved ones, and you should be handling it with care. Right? And a few more guidelines. First, it follows the traditional Chinese treatment points. You can follow that, and then you can follow reflexology, anatomical points, meridian points, chakra points. Okay, the speed at which results can be seen depends on the body and health condition of each person and the frequency of use. Now, first, if your body is quite chronic, then it might take a bit longer. And if you use often, you might see it faster. All right, this is what it means. And it encourages natural healing. Now, what happens is these terahertz waves, they do not heal. What they do is they prepare the body tissues where the body is now able to do what it is able to do best. Such, it heals itself. Right? Now, in natural healing, you can expect something called a healing crisis. Now, what is a healing crisis? It's a temporary worsening of symptoms after beginning a treatment, especially in alternative medicine. You may also see it called an aggravation, a detox reaction, or a cleansing reaction. And in a healing crisis, symptoms briefly worsen before beginning to improve. And it's important that every person who recommends a device to another person to inform that newcomer that this will happen, because otherwise they're going to get scared and they will stop and go back to what it was. Now, most recently, just a few days ago, a colleague of mine, he was complaining of a knee problem, and I have told him about the water before, but he told me that he has been taking some other water from some sister or somebody else. So I didn't disturb him. But just a few days ago, about 2-3 days ago, he said, "Can I try your water?" Of course, definitely can. I got him 2 bottles. And what happened was, the next day he came back to work. He said, "My knee is hurting even more. My body feels very, painful, almost all over. So what could be the reason?" So then I told him that, what's happening is your body is actually in a very bad condition. There are lots of things where your things are not good in your body, and probably the amount of water which you drank is quite a lot. Asked him how much. He said, "Yes, I drank about a glass every an hour or so." So which means that it has been really working hard. So that is already bringing out the healing crisis in him. And I said, "You just bear with it for another 3 to 7 days, you'll be fine. Then things will be much better." And today, I think he took a medical leave because it's really working on him. But when we meet him again next week, definitely is going to be much better. Now, he's undergoing a healing crisis. So be prepared, especially for those who have got chronic problems, that this will happen in various ways. Okay, now let's look at some treatment points. Now, this is how you do the treatment in circles, vertical lines, horizontal lines. Don't focus on one particular spot all the time. Now, this is the group of disease problems. So how you can use this treatment. I'll just run you through. You can get this from the person who brought you here. All right. Now, this is for the eyes, especially the glaucoma and other problems. Now, one important condition here is that make sure they do not wear contact lenses. Now, contact lenses, youngsters especially like to wear contact lenses. And then the older generation, they wear the lenses after cataract. So if they're using it, then it's best to avoid so that we do not run into issues. Right? Now, this is for rheumatism and gout. Just today, I was informed that somebody who had very bad rheumatism. This is a person in India, and it's a very well-known person there. He said, I can see that it's helping with arthritis. It has improved, right? I feel so happy for him. All right, and this is for the flu and the cough. It is how you treat them. This is for hypertension and coronary heart diseases, and that group. And this is for the bones, the joints especially. And you can also use it for beauty. All right, now we see here one video. This is the favorite among women. It is for beauty. Use the lowest now use the hand and push as you use. It improves, it helps. Okay, now that one was when he's using on somebody else. Now if I want to use it on myself, I can do it on myself. Now what I do is I just push up slowly as I do. So as I blow, I just push. I just start pushing. Okay, push, 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 push. Okay. Now what people have found is those people with rounded faces, after using it, they found that their faces are more V-shaped. And one kind gentleman, if I'm not mistaken, is from Nagaland in India. He had been using it for 1 month on his face, and he reported that his face now feels as if that he's using moisturizer, smooth and shining, right? Just by using what was shown just now. Okay. Right. Now let's look at another aspect of it. Now, when you this device gives you deep penetration. Now, when you use other methods, for example, a massage, acupuncture, gua sha, all of them are good in their own way, right? They are good in their own way, but most of them are mostly on the skin, on the surface. They go a little bit deep maybe. But what happens is when you start using this device, it goes a long way inside, about 20 to 30 centimeters. All right. So a lot of the tissues inside the body are suddenly being affected. They're getting the benefits. Although you're focusing on one particular area, maybe one organ, but the surrounding organs are also getting it. I remember when I was using it on one person, where it was for one hand, that person brought the other hand close just to enjoy the benefit, and he found that both the hands now are better. All right. So it works in those ways. So the penetration is very deep. So you get a lot of benefit from that. And how to blow. Now these are various ways of blowing. I will not go deeply into it. Get this picture and other pictures I'm going to show now from the person who brought you here, so that you have an idea of what you can do once you have this device. All right. And if you're focusing on specific organs, then you can look at this chart where it shows which point where you can focus on. And also you can use the reflexology method where you can focus on your soles and also your palms. Now the soles and the palms are important areas, especially when it comes to traditional Chinese medicine. When you talk about qi, the energy in your body. So now if you can blow at least 5 minutes on each palm and your soles, 4 of them, you will find that the flow improves. The flow, the qi going in and out of your body is now smoother, and it releases a lot of pressure in the body. Right? Now, if you do not really know where, or you do not have the time, you can just take an anatomical chart, look at which organ you want to focus on, and just blow from the front. For example, you want to blow on the chest. Many people with the COVID-19 virus, these are the areas where you would want to blow before going out from your house, and also when you come back from wherever you are. and these are the areas where you may want to focus. So just blow, right? And many people have heart conditions now. Make sure you do not have stents, you do not have implants, and if you can ask your doctors as to what exactly is your condition, then you can focus on those areas, and people are finding a lot of relief, improvement in their heart conditions, right? And if you do not know where to blow, just point to where you have a problem and blow, right? This gentleman, Mr. Azizi, he has this, what do you call it, his hands. The feelings on his hands are not there. And so he just comes and blows. And this is what he does. Now his feelings have come back. The hands feelings are much better. And if you had seen earlier, he was also focusing on his palms. That is to clear the chi energy, right? Okay. Now this is for his legs. Okay, and this is for his eyes. When he first started, he couldn't read the wall clock. He can't see the wall clock. He couldn't read the time. And definitely wouldn't want to come out at night. He said, I could not see, I could not drive at night. And when he started blowing, things started improving. And today he can read the wall clock, and also he can drive at night. He's a very happy 72-year-old gentleman, right? And these are the other testimonials. This is lupus, somebody who had lupus. And then this is a person who used it for his tummy. 20 days, he has shown some improvement. This is for skin disorders on the leg. This is for this acne, face. So these are the testimonies of those who have used it. And this is for a person who had an accident, and this was before, and this is after using it, right? And now the main areas where it can help are in various inflammations, pains, blockages. You can use it for health, to improve your skin health, and also for beauty. So these are all the conditions and some of the conditions which come under these main topics, right? Much more than that. Okay. So if you have any of these and beyond this, definitely you'll be able to enjoy the benefits. Now, people have also asked, can I use it with my clothes on? Definitely, as I said earlier, it penetrates clothing, right? So it's not a problem. But of course, ideally, if you can remove your shirt, it will be better. This is more for domestic use.
Now okay, Aga.
But better, better.
Better, huh?
She was having a bad back problem. Back was paining, aching, and I think after once or twice, she feels so much better, even with the clothes on. And here we see, of course, without the shirt on, in centers, using the probe.
佢腎嗰位，但係陳生冇事喎，佢擺一手喺度做緊偵測嘅。頭先試咗你，
我病佢頭喎。
佢啲紅嘅，你睇下反緊光嗰啲。
啊！哇！
呢度。
Okay, these are in centers. All right, you can see that in spite of putting another hand, it still penetrates deeply. Right now, people have also asked, okay, now we are using it for blowing. Okay, it does a good job. Now, what about the benefits of drinking? Now, when you charge the water and you drink, it works from the inside of your body. It works on your entire body, and it helps to kickstart your system to help bring you back to good health. Even just the water is playing a beautiful part in helping you going to areas before this you had problems. And what happens is now with this water and using the device, you can bring your health back to a better condition much faster. So when you blow on the areas where you have a problem, for example, you have a problem in one particular area, now that area improves much faster, right? So this device is definitely helping lots of people to improve their condition faster. And at the same time, please do charge the water and drink continuously. And the water can be heated, kept in the refrigerator, it can be mixed, and you can use it with drinks. So, and then people are also using it for cooking, right? So it's really helping lots of people, right? Now, what's happening is many people after using it, they find that it's so good for them, they're sharing it with their close ones, their friends, and they're just telling them, okay, you have this condition, what have you done with it after so long? And there's no improvement. And when they try this device, they find that it's helping them. And what happens is everybody now wants to have one. You will find that one of these days, practically every household is going to have a device in their house, because this is one device which everybody will find useful. So now what's happening is the person who actually introduces, suddenly finds that they're getting lots of money coming in. All right, and they help with the health, it helps with their wealth. All right, it's helping them thoroughly. And before you know it, the device becomes free. And before you know it, there's more money than you expected in the account. Okay, and people are using also to buy more devices for each member of the family, especially when they stay far away from them, so that everybody can enjoy the benefits. And especially with your loved ones, your dad, mom, who definitely can do with this. So people are finding it's also bringing them wealth. Now, this is how the ITeraPro would come in a box, and people are also finding that this is also helpful for them at home. Of course, this ITera Classic is good, very good, but this is of course much stronger. And if you can afford it, then by all means, all right. And people are actually serious about getting an income, especially during the lockdown recently, where lots of people lost their jobs and were looking for a source of income. And they were serious about planning about how to go about. And many are actually doing very well because the device speaks for itself, right? So now if you wish for success, first of all, if you are looking in just as for your health, then just buy the device, that's it, use it for your health. But what happens is, if you, when you find that your health is getting better, and you tell people around you, hey, look, this thing is helping me, and would you like to try? Definitely they are going to say, they're not going to say no, and they're going to try. And if it's going to help them, they're going to say, can I get one? And when that happens, the company gives you a business at no extra cost. When you buy that device, that is the only amount of money which you're going to pay. Of course, there's maintenance, which Mr. Sam will talk about later. But as far as the business is concerned, you don't fork out any extra money. The company gives you a business with whatever you have bought. Now, when you want to do a business, you need a good product which works as it says and does whatever it is claimed. And with the amount of testimonials and what do you call that happenings, you just cannot go wrong. Many people ask, what are the side effects? I always tell them there's only one side effect, and the only side effect is people are getting better. So that's only, you wouldn't say complaint, thing which is happening there. And then you need a good plan to generate your income. Okay, the company is giving a very good plan. People are finding that just family members buying, and they find that they have the device becomes free and they got more money than they could expect. All right, so the plan generates income for you, and a good company leads and grows with you and supports you. And with Prive International, you cannot go wrong, because the people who are there are always there to support you. Many of them, when they have problems with their what do you call it, their supplies, immediately they get a response and they are supported. And now they are connected to anyone, anywhere, everywhere in the world. More than 20 countries are now having stockists, and you can just find anybody anywhere in the continent, I mean in the world, and you can send it to them wherever they want to, right? So you have a business where you're doing it from home and you're connected to the entire world, right? So you can never get wrong. You're not coming up with any extra burden on yourself, right? So the most important thing is that the device is a beautiful device. It works as it says, and is helping to improve the health condition of almost everyone who's using it, right? So at the end of it, the greatest wealth is health. When your health is good, then you can generate more wealth, all right? And this happens with ITeraCare. And with that, I thank you. I'm Soma. Thank you, Mr. Sam.